Yeah. They're on, Rosella says she's written Troll 3. So, you know, they want us to do Troll 3. I just kind of, before you go, or, you know, it's been great to have you here, but I just wanted to kind of tell you guys a few things, because there's some questions that don't get asked, but it answers a few. But how did this all evolve? And it's kind of wild, but the internet brought Michael and I back together. And the fact that one day, one day I'm watching Troll 2 on Showtime. It was on Showtime in America for about 8 months, 8 or 9 times a month, or 10, or I don't know. It was a lot, too many times. And so I had this premonition back in April of 2006, I'm sorry, that you know, someone other than a patient or friend of mine is going to tell me they'd seen me in this movie. And so, because I get that all the time, even down the Virgin Islands, people say that. But the bottom line is, I get this phone call. There's a guy from Furman or Clemson in South Carolina doing a radio documentary on Troll 2. And I said, why are you doing this? I mean, what's going on? He said, well, you don't know about the world, you know, the phenomenon going around this movie. And I go, no, what are you talking about? So he said, well, if you don't believe me, go to IMDb. Well, I went to IMDb, that Internet Movie Database, and that very day, Troll 2 was #1 as the worst film of all time. About 100. And I looked down in the forum, and it says, Troll 2 screening party in Provo, Utah, on April the 13th. This was April the 11th. And I looked down, and it says, cast members invited. Please come, please contact me. My name's Blair Sterrett, and Blair's from Utah. Huge movie collector, memorabilia, and Blair put this thing on for us, and there were 8 of us there, but Michael wasn't there, and I just thought, where's my 10-year-old son? Because I hadn't seen Michael. So the bottom line is, what happened, Michael and I get back together. Michael has all these things happen a few weeks right before this thing, and Michael says, you know, we got to pull this thing together. And before you know it, Landmark Theater connects with this, and then we've had 22 screenings, and now we're in the middle of this documentary, which has been an awful lot of fun. And another thing I just wanted to mention is what's going on with the cast members, because a lot of people want to know. But of course, I'm a practicing dentist in Alabama, never anymore, and Michael has 100% put himself on this. I'll let him tell you a little bit about what you do, if you want, or briefly. Yeah.
I save the world by pissing all over everybody's food.
Well, Michael's doing a documentary, but has a web-based company in Salt Lake, and also remained inactive for a while. The drugstore owner is very interesting. He's 84 years old now, and he's bizarre. I mean, I called him the other day, and he was stoned, literally stoned. He loves to smoke pot, and he was stoned when he did. He told us, he'll tell you, he was stoned when he did Troll 2. And he was a beatnik back, you know what that word means, and he was a tap dance instructor in France for a while. It was just fucking bizarre. But Margot, I'll let you tell you about Margot. Deborah Reed, who plays the Queen, has her own commercial commercial company for real estate, and does some real estate sales with her husband. Connie Young, who plays the daughter, is still doing some Disney films and some Mormon-based films in Salt Lake, and lives in Salt Lake City. Lives in Park City, has 3 children. And then Darren Ewing, he works for the Salt Lake Tribune and also plays the drums. Incredible. Darren plays Arnold, who says, "Oh my God!" But he's not. He wants to go to Los Angeles, and still he was. What was the movie Darren was in? Unaccompanied Minors. Grandpa Seth is living in Salt Lake. He's 74 years old now. He was 56 when he made the movie. Tell him about it.
One of the best things, we brought Grandpa Seth to a screening in Seattle. And he is what you see on screen. The guy's incredible. And yes, he still smiles that way. And I remember after the screening, the whole crowd was chanting, "Grandpa Seth!" And here's this 84-year-old man just smiling as he's walking down the aisle. It's incredible.
76 now. The Playboy son of the Coopers, Jason Wright, the Playboy's my daughter's boyfriend, ran for a state senate for the senator for the state of Utah, and almost won that. But he lives in Washington D.C. He's written 2 books. One New York Times bestsellers. One's called The Wednesday's Letters and The Christmas Jars. And he's written 2 bestsellers. Barnes and Noble.
He was really involved in politics, and he would do these radio shows. And he'd be talking politics, and all of a sudden he would just slip in these, references to Troll 2. Like he'd say, yeah, that politician is evidence that goblins still exist. And the other person would be like, goblins still exist? What?
Other guys, the only person that's not living is Sheriff Jimmy Free. That's the only one that's next to him. So anyway, we've been back to Utah several times. We've had a lot of guests.